I hear the soft clang of metal on wood as I tighten the last screw into the custom-built cedar table. Sunlight spills through the wide-open garage door, painting the grain with a golden hue. This is peace. My workshop is my sanctuary, my quiet corner in the world where I turn rough timber into art. I've spent 2 years building it from the ground up behind my modest home in a quiet Georgia suburb. A mostly white neighborhood where smiles are polite but never quite reach the eyes. Name's Marcus Tillman. 37. Black. Carpenter. Veteran. I bought this house 5 years ago with savings from my deployment, hoping for peace after chaos. I thought I'd found it here in Crestwood Heights. Manicured lawns, block parties, little American flags fluttering in driveways. On paper, it's a dream, but paper lies. I learned early to keep things tight. Keep the yard spotless. No loud music, no unfamiliar guests staying too long. The HOA is always watching. Always. My wife, Nia, teaches at the local elementary school. Our daughter, Maya, is 8 going on 20, all sass and science projects. On the surface, life is steady, but the tension is always there, like the low hum of an electrical wire. You don't notice it until you do. It starts with a letter. White envelope, Crestwood Heights HOA seal embossed on the flap. Innocent enough. Inside, a friendly reminder that all structures must be pre-approved by the HOA. They're referring to my workshop, the one I've had for 2 years, the one that's already passed inspection twice. I frown, read it again. No mention of violations, no complaints, just a vague tone of concern about aesthetic harmony. I shake my head. It's probably a mix-up. A week later, a board member stops by. Carl Whitmore, mid-50s, white, khaki shorts, American flag polo. He smiles too wide, doesn't look me in the eye. Talks like he's reading from a rulebook he wrote himself. Just making sure everything's up to code, Mr. Tillman, he says, eyes drifting over the cedar bench I'm sanding. Don't want the neighborhood looking like a flea market. I laugh, then realize he's not joking. I built this myself, I say. All permitted, inspected, twice. Carl chuckles, waves it off like smoke. Sure. You know how these things are. Rules change. Something in his tone makes my skin prickle. Not what he said, how he said it. Like I wasn't really supposed to be here in the first place. Like my presence is tolerated barely. That night I can't sleep. I sit in the dark, listening to the creaks of the house, remembering the little things. The sideways glances at HOA meetings. The way people cross the street when Nia and I go walking. The one black family on the block. It's just a letter, just a visit. But I know how these things start, and I've seen how they end. The first time I notice something off, it's the morning after a thunderstorm. I step outside with my coffee, expecting to see the usual dew-covered grass and the soft mist rising from the pavement. Instead, I freeze. The side gate to my backyard, the one that leads to my workshop, is open. I never leave it open. I walk slowly, every step tightening the knot in my gut. The lock's still dangling from the latch, but it's been cut. Clean, like someone used bolt cutters. I glance around. No tire marks. No footprints in the mud. Just a violation. Inside the workshop, tools are scattered. Sawdust kicked across the floor. My planer's dented. The shelf holding my hardwood samples has collapsed. Boards cracked like bones. Nothing stolen. Just ruined. I call the police. They come, take notes, nod sympathetically. But I can see it in their eyes. You sure you didn't leave it like this? They don't say it, but I've heard that silence before. They file a report and leave. 2 days later, I get another letter from the HOA. Unauthorized expansion of non-compliant structure. What expansion? I call the number at the bottom. It goes straight to voicemail. So I go to the next HOA meeting. The room's filled with the usual faces. Smiling retirees, housewives sipping from thermoses, and a few husbands looking like they'd rather be anywhere else. When I enter, the room goes a little too quiet. Not silent, just aware. Like I'd walked into a room where someone was just talking about me. Carl Whitmore sits at the head of the table, clipboard in hand, wearing that smug little smile. His voice is syrupy when he greets me. Marcus, good to see you. Hope the family's well. I keep my voice steady. What's this about an unauthorized expansion? He doesn't look up, just flips a page. Well, we had a complaint. A neighbor reported seeing new lumber delivered to your property. So I can't have wood delivered now? He shrugs. It's about transparency, compliance. You know how it is. I do know. I know that last month, the Wilkersons, a white couple across the street, added a pergola without a single letter from the HOA. I know that 3 houses down, someone built a backyard fire pit with stones stacked well past regulation height. But they're not being hounded. I am. Carl finally looks up, eyes cool and condescending. We just want to make sure everything fits the community's standards. What standards are those exactly? Ask. He smiles, but there's no warmth. The ones that keep this neighborhood the kind of place people want to live. That night, I check my security cameras. The one on the side of the house, the one facing the workshop, has been turned, pointing at the fence, away from the gate. The footage, corrupted. Coincidence? Maybe. But my gut says otherwise. And my gut's never wrong.